Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Magick, Witchcraft, and Occultism. This is episode 8, part 3 on Accounting and Magickal Journals. Very quickly, last episode I was like a full minute over, and that's because I didn't want to do a third part for 1 minute. So I wanted just to get right to the Magickal Journal, so that's exactly what we're going to do. So, let us begin. Out of the many possible journals you may keep, your magical journal is usually going to be the most significant, as well as being the largest and most in-depth out of all of your journals on average. Your magical journal is a log of all the different avenues of research and interest that you have over the course of your practice and research into magic and mysticism. It can contain anything from myths, legends, lore, notes on different paths, traditions, philosophies, or religions, as well as anything from crystals, symbols, herbs, different forms of divination, or whatever else that draws your attention into the occult knowledge. As your journal relates to stones and herbs and symbols, you could have dozens and dozens, if not hundreds of pages of corresponding information that at certain times you will find completely opposing information for any number of reasons that goes against all your earlier conclusions that you have previously reached. Now, this is a good time to ask, why is that? Instead of just writing it off as some kind of anomaly, you would have to look into the history and beliefs of a specific tradition or practice and diagnose the reason why. In this case, the general information would be considered right, with a notation mentioning in this specific country, region, or tradition. It instead means this or that, with the reason explaining why. Because from their specific point of view, they're not wrong, they're just not right compared to the other 99% of practitioners and traditions out there. This is why it's always important to ask another practitioner what their tradition is, as this is more often than not going to stop an argument or a heated conversation before it even begins. So as you can see, your magical journey will document your personal journey, your growth, as well as your thoughts and conclusions that you've reached up until this point, not only from hard-fought and won research, but also from polite discourse, with those that may know less, equal, or more than you on any given subject. Keep in mind, because someone has been doing this 10 years less than you, doesn't mean they may not have read something that you didn't. They might know something you didn't. So try not to be an elitist. That's just a personal piece of information. I try not to be. Also, if you happen to get along with the other practitioner, you might want to jot down their name, their specialty, as well as their contact information, so you may be able to have another contact on your list. You never know when someone else's specialty is going to come in handy. Also, you will know who to contact if you need a specific piece of information in whatever they specialize in. Just for a point of reference, for the example, we'll say necromancy, as there's not too many of us walking around out there. It's a really specific art to practice. Yeah. If you want to know why I'm a necromancer, why I special in that, you can go back to episode 1. But back to the point. So this person can at the very least point you in the right direction, so you will know where to start looking and have some sense of assurance that you're not wasting your time and effort, so you know you're not on some kind of a wild goose chase. I hope I've exemplified why your magical journal will be a roadmap through each stage of your practice and development, because you're going to put all sorts of things in there, not just the things you find in the books, the things that you yourself, through personal experience, find to be true, or methodologies that you've come up with, or even people that may have some specific information you can call on later. That might be how you start a coven, for example. Also, as I'm coming to the end of this video, I like to remind you only the finished product of your spells and your rituals actually go into your grimoire, your Book of Shadows, or for that matter, any other materials that you think is important that should go in there that is what you could consider complete should also go in there. After all, this is your journal. This is your journal and your grimoire. So what you think is important is really all that matters, as long as it helps you on your practice and your journey. That's why I made this series on accounting in the first place, for really mostly initiates, dabblers, and novices, as they don't really understand what a magical journal is, or what it's used for, or what you should put into it, let alone all the other journals. So if this series of videos on accounting helped you, then I did my job and I'm very happy. because I just want to see other people not make the same mistakes I did when I first started. That's really one of the main goals. Also, I'm about to run out of time, so if you all wouldn't mind pressing that subscribe button and that like button, I'd really appreciate it. Also, if you like, you can come join my Facebook group, Magick Witchcraft and Occultism. You'll find a description below. So as always, I'd like to wish you all the best of luck with your research, and go in peace.